I'm going to do an insight video today. This age is about integration. It's about awareness. It's about consciousness. It's about creation. And there's a lot of things going on at the moment, like within shifting, within awareness, as we become open to receive as these open channels. There's a lot going on with oneness, and this frequency of oneness. Oneness is the understanding that within the eternal moment, the power of now, everything is always available. Consciousness and creation have always been available. And this directly connects to some of the self-realization sort of principles, and also like the soul roles and stuff like that. There's loads of things going on consciously within sort of like reality and creation. Sort of like, so when you start seeing things like everything's available in the now moment, it's like one of the self-realization principles is that you're everything you always wish to be, you already are. So it's saying all power, all consciousness, all creation has always been available. It's always available in this now moment, which is again the oneness frequency, that you're not separate. You've never been separate. And this is one of the biggest sort of awareness sort of and consciousness that you can have as a spiritual being, is the understanding that that everything is available, and there's nothing to attain. It's always available. The source creation and source reality and source vibration and frequency is available in the now moment, in the eternal moment. The only thing that separates us is when we start focusing our energy, not at, like within, but outside, where we start attaching to things, like attaching to 3D reality and the external world, and seeing that this is the true reality, seeing this is something that happening to us, and not seeing that the notion that we're the understanding that you're creating it. Like all creation, it comes from you and through you and works as you. And creation is, you are the creator of your own reality. And this is like another sort of like self realization principle, that the understanding that you are the creator of creation of your own reality. You're creating it. You're creating it in every second of every moment within your consciousness, within the how you're focusing energy. And this is how source energy works: is you're focusing the energy through your consciousness, and then the energy and the frequency and the vibration then becomes reality. Whatever you focus on is what's creating your reality. So if you're focusing on things where there's stuff happening outside of you, and you feel like these are challenges, or these are barriers, or these are things that are happening externally, and you feel like that's your reality because you're focusing on, because you're worrying about them, and it's bringing anxiety or fear and stuff like that, then that's your reality. But but the understanding is that that's coming from you, and it's working through you, and it's because you're focusing on that. That's why it's becoming a reality. It's affecting your emotions, it's affecting your thoughts, it's affecting your feelings. Also, this notion like of souls, like soul roles and soul reality. Like I was talking about the soul roles, and I was reading about this, and obviously this is something that's come to me through there's a lady named Sarah Landon that's a channel, and I've been listening to some of her stuff lately, and it makes a lot of sense that she gets this information from like a chat, like from the council, which is a channel. She works as a channel, and that some of the soul roles she talks about are things like healer, uh, and but this links directly again to like oneness, and the understanding again, and the frequency of oneness and consciousness and creation. Is like the healer is like an aspect of the soul where that beings have this ability to open up and heal, and heal people, maybe sort of like emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and help them with like frequencies, so they can receive energy and healing, to align and unify their energy frequency, their energy vibration. However, everything all is one, and this is the real thing about oneness, is that every oneness is this frequency that's available to all beings. It's not something that's available just to one. And as I go down and develop more consciousness and understanding and awareness, and I feel as I start to connect with the guidance and the beings that work with us, oneness is everything, and it's the understanding that everything is available to everyone. And this is why the notion of we're all creation and we're all creators, we're all this, and oneness is working for all of us, and the frequency working through us all the time. And when I say like everything is available to all beings, this is what I mean. Is like the oneness frequency talks about this, and it gives us the awareness to know this, that every being has the availability and the power of now, that the eternal moment, the source energy, is not something that's just open to few. It's open to all beings, and it collectively, we're all channels, and we all have the ability to access this. And when you start talking about like roles of the soul, you start talking about like healers, seers, messengers, transformers, guides. Um, you talk about way showers, and then you've got like dreamers, and you've got like visualizers, and there's one called decoders. So there's like 11 roles that she talks about, from the council. But we're all that. We've all got aspects of that. And although they say like roles of the soul, again, this notion of like when we start looking at things separately, then we start to see something as, something separate from us when it's not. In oneness, all these roles of the soul, we can access all of these roles. We can be aspects. There's aspects of these that we can all access and consciously create within our energy frequency, because the soul is infinite and the soul is directly connected to source, and source is infinite creation, always evolving, always available, always expanding, always expressing. So source energy is this. It's an infinite creative force, of infinite information, infinite insight, infinite awareness. It's also a direct channel to the infinite dimensions and realities where these beings, infinite beings, bring consciousness and understanding and knowledge and wisdom to us. And we are them and they are us. We are the same. It's just that we've focused our consciousness, and we've also focused our source energy into this reality for this time, this age, and we've chosen to do this, and this is why we're here. We're here now for that reason. And again, that notion of here now is such a powerful expression, because it aligns you, and it gives you the awareness and the understanding that in this moment everything is available and you're not separate. And again, this is the notion of many philosophies that when you start looking at oneness, it links into absolutely everything. When people talk about heaven on earth, this notion of heaven on earth, again, heaven on earth is a direct sort of like, is symbolic of saying there's no separation. It's saying that heaven on earth is saying again, it's not even just, but it's saying again, when you open up and you express and you know that your soul is this infinite, infinite sort of channel of infinite consciousness and creation. And it's also it allows you to be this, the soul is, when you walk and align with your soul, is infinite source energy, focus into this reality, into this frequency. But it also is in the other frequencies. It's the multi-dimensional aspect of self. It's the infinite self and the soul. We talk about them as being separate, but they're the same. They're not the same, but they are the same because they're part of oneness. So in a sense, like the infinite self and the soul are perfectly unified. They're in the perfect here and now moment, the eternal moment. They're not separate, and this is how the other dimensions and realities work. They're not separate, and this is why oneness is so important. And it's not just a concept. It's a frequency. It's an understanding. It's an energy that you can express. It's a sensation. It's a sensation of energy and frequency that you can feel within your being. And it's sort of like it aligns you. It allows you to express and open as this channel, to know that there's no limitation, that everything's connected, nothing is separate. And a lot of things I've been talking about lately is like, people talk about like old and new energy, but they're all part of the oneness frequency. But again, it's all like, when we start talking about oneness and we talk about frequency, and we talk about energy, and we talk about consciousness, they're ever evolving, they're ever expanding. And like I said, I've talked about things like each being or each soul has like a key of consciousness, like a golden key that they stick in a door and open it up, and the door is symbolic of opening up our awareness and our consciousness to see what's available, and see that source energy, that source creation in that eternal moment. But also that we become then one. We become one with all beings that are working, like collectives, councils, the angels. All these beings are working, and you're not meaning what, but they're aligned. They're in oneness frequency. They know that all is available all the time. And again, with consciousness and creation, we understand this when we start stepping into oneness. Like I've talked about creation before, I have these experiences where I'm light energy, and it's like when I create something in the eternal now moment, it's already happened. It's there. It's bringing like energy. It's bringing energy from formless realities, which is the infinite dimensions, into this, not into physical reality, but into physical matter. It's been created through our consciousness, through our vibration, our frequency. So you, as a creator, you all have the ability to do this. You can draw reality and create consciousness within this reality into physical matter. And this is why you're a creator. And this is why you can, everything's available and you can access it whenever you want. So this notion that things are separate, I think, when they talk about like the old energy, I don't really like old and new again, because again, that's separation, and it's one's limited, one's higher, one's lower. All these human terminology talk about higher and lower. It's all one. You know what I mean? And we just move through that oneness frequency. So the understanding is that, you step into your light, your power, you understand your source energy within the now moment, and it's created already. And all you do then is you just sit in that frequency of what you're creating, and you become that frequency. You get more of what you are, than what you need. You have to create it within yourself first. Once you create something within yourself first, then it becomes reality, because you express it. And when you express it, you're creating it. And when you create it, then it becomes reality. So it's very, very simple, but it's also, we get very sort of distracted with reality and life and money and bills and work and stuff like that, when actually all things come from you, and the only thing you have to do is just consciously awake. And when you do that, then you start to see that everything is available, and it always has been. And again, this comes back to this statement at the beginning of the self-realization: you're everything you always wish to be, you already are. There's nothing to get to, there's nothing to go, and it's all available here now. And this is why people talk about now, and they talk about the eternal moment. And it's one of those really sort of like, it's very sort of like, it's a concept that we can really understand, but we don't really know the power of it until we truly step into it. When we truly step into it, then we start to see what potentials there are, the opportunities that are available within that now moment. Because when we're in that now moment, we're creating, and we're creation. So everything's available, and nothing is limited. Everything is there to be expressed, to be created. And what a power! And it's just that shift and that understanding. And this has been happening for a while for many of us, that we start to understand this. I mean, the self-realized principles, they talk about like everything you wish to be, you already are. That you focus, you're a creator, in your own creation and your own reality. That you focus source energy in there, and you start to see that you are this being of consciousness and creation. That you are, and creation works through you, for you, as you, not to you. There's many things that work through you, and you understand this, and you start to understand that, you know that is available to you. Nothing is not available to you, because you're born with source energy and source creation. You are a creator because you were born from source. And this is what your soul is. When you step into those soul roles, you understand, as the healer, that each being and each soul has the ability, to heal themselves, and bring union and harmony within their reality, within their life. Each being has that, because each being has source energy in them. This, the seers, people talk about seeing. The seer, role of the seer is like, they talk about psychics, they talk about mediums, they talk about clairvoyance, they talk about all these kind of things that are seers. But we're all that, because we're all source energy. We're all beyond this physical form, this physical reality, because we're all source. So we've all got aspects of these soul roles within us. The guide, the guide guides beings through consciousness and creation. Well, we're all doing that every day. We're each linking with each other. We are all each other's guides. We are all the same. The dreamer that's looking for, that is living on higher frequencies and consciousness, where they seem a little bit detached from the world. Well, we're all doing that at times. We're all having moments where we connect into that infinite moment, and we receive insight and awareness, and we can live in that vibration, that frequency that's not, that is a different frequency to the 3D reality, which is the 5 and 6D reality, where we are creators and we are creation, but we're also creating heaven on earth. and that's a different frequency to the 3D frequency that many of us have lived within for so long, which is the external frequency. We start to see everything comes through us, as us, and for us. um, there's many aspects. The way shower. The way shower is somebody that lives sort of reality in a way where they've integrated consciousness and creation, and they've integrated spiritual principles, and they're called a way shower because they live their life through spiritual creation, and other beings connect and align to that. There's many aspects to these different sort of these different roles. I mean, I can't think of all 11 off the top of my head. I probably, if I sat down and focused and I got into a space, I'd bring all 11 through, because once you've sort of opened up to these kind of integrating this consciousness. But also remember that you know everything comes to you at the right moment, and you're always in the right moment. You're never lost. You're in the perfect moment, and you're in a perfect moment of creation all the time, and everything is always available, and it's always aligning for you at the right time, at the right moment. Everything's working for you. So if you read something about sort of, I don't know, self-realization or some roles of the soul, and you think, oh, that's really interesting, um you know and then maybe three bits of information are the only three that stay with you. You've read 11, but you can only remember three. Well, remember, those three are working for you, and they've retained for a reason. You've retained that information. That's insight. That's awareness. That's receiving from source energy and from the infinite dimensions. You're receiving the wisdom and the energy that you need, and that wisdom, that energy is there, connecting with your soul. It's connecting with your infinite self, so that you're aligned, and then you can start to create that's what which is needed within your reality, within your life. Everything is created um you know for you, and it's working for you to bring consciousness, awareness, expression into reality, so that you can start to live as this expressive creator and creation being within this reality, within this power of now. And this is why power of now is so important, because it's the gateway, or it's the access point to creation. The power of now is the access point to creation. It's the stillness. It's the creation. It's the understanding that the energy is always available. Only when we are distracted, and we are thinking about the past, or we're thinking about the future, or we're thinking about bills, and we're thinking about out there, and we lose the focus of our power, of our creative ability, because we're connecting to a different frequency, the 3D reality. We're seeing something as out there is happening to us, instead of knowing that actually, if we just go within or sit in that power of now, then creation is always available. And also consciousness and insight and awareness, and the energy that's needed is always there, and it will come to us. We will open up as channels, and we will receive it in that moment. So this is why it's important to live in that moment. And there's a lot of things going on. I could talk about a lot of things. I mean, if I had a massive list of things that if I had the 11 roles of the soul, I could sit there and give you a definition of each and every one of them, and I could with the self-realization processes. But remember, and this is a really important part that I just feel like this is just coming through to me, and as I was just sitting there, I feel like I've just been guided to say, remember though, how I'm expressing that, and how I'm expressing those roles of the soul, and self-realized principles, is my truth, is my creation, my awareness. Yeah, and we all walk in our own truth, and this is what oneness is about as well. That we all walk in our own truths. So when you look at other beings and their pathways, and you may think, "Oh, that doesn't really resonate with me," that's their truth, and that's their soul walking in their soul's truth, and that is still part of oneness, but that's not necessarily my truth. And we all bring our own aspect of truth to this reality. But when I'm saying truth, I'm really saying consciousness, because that consciousness is what's needed. And remember that we're, you know nothing's separate in oneness. So all is working in reality for all beings at once, in one frequency, in one consciousness. And everything that you look around in the world, um, things happen, atrocities and things like that. But try and see how they're working for not necessarily you, but for us as a collective consciousness. Start to step outside of that and see there's a bigger picture, there's a bigger consciousness, a bigger creation going on here. It's not just about our own individual reality. We're a collective. Individually we're speaking and we're expressing our truth, and that's our soul's purpose, to bring consciousness and creation here. And this is why we've brought our own individual frequency, but that's needed for the whole, and that's part of the whole consciousness, the whole collective. So there's many things going on. So walk your truth. Do remain in what makes sense to you. Remain in that eternal moment. Receive as your channel, and receive your own truth and step into that truth, and that will bring your reality, your heaven on earth, into this reality, into this that you'll be able to express within your reality, within your daily lives, and walk and remain in your truth. That's the only thing I can say that's really important. Walk and remain in your truth, because that's what I feel is the main message of this oneness. Is the message. But remain in your truth, and know that stepping in your truth is stepping into your purpose and creating and expressing it in your sort of through your soul, through your consciousness, through your infinite self, and that is part of the whole. So just remain in your truth as well, and create, and know that nothing's ever separate. Everything's always available in that power and now moment, and that oneness moment, that is always available, and you're never ever separate. All right, have a great day. Please comment, like, subscribe. Yeah, have a great day. That's the end of the insight.